Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. Hi everyone, how are you doing? Let's grab our petty tea, have a seat, and I hope, well, if you're at work, if you can't sit, understand. But I hope all of my royalty are doing amazing, fine, great, amazing, and fed and stuff. It's like after the whole government shutdown or whatever. I haven't been saying the whole get your nibble on and stuff like that because especially in these hard times and with the tariffs and with people losing their jobs because of either the DEI, they're like, yeah, can't wait to get rid of the black women and or women, like, yeah. And a lot of white women finally woke up. They're like, oh, I'm part of DEI. What have black women been telling you all these years? And I talk about this a lot, but yeah, people didn't believe black women. People kept saying, oh, black women want to be the victim all the time. Huh. After seeing what happened with the Little Mermaid and so many other situations where it's a black woman, or even look at what happened with Jasmine Crockett and even some of the other part like black women of Congress and what people have said about them, and even with Mrs. Obama, they keep trying to call her a man, and then they want to keep saying that President Obama isn't, an American citizen. Like they don't under like they want to be racist, but then they are insulted by being called racist. But then they say that we need to get over the racism, and or they say they enjoy the tears, the liberal tears and everything like that, and they want us to shut up. But then they say it's reverse racism if they don't get something, or when maybe at times by chance they are treated like how black people are treated, but then they don't want to admit the way that black people are treated. Make it make sense. So, but yeah, this episode is going to be, it's kind of a sample of what I want to do with the Nerd channel. And I'm probably going to continue on with this idea over there at some point. But it's kind of, it's sad, but it's in memory of Rob Reiner because, like, especially after my surgery and diagnosis, it's like on one of the channels on regular TV. It's called like Me TV and stuff like that. They have like the old school shows and everything, like the Love Boat and oh, they don't. I one day they'll have Sanford and Son, but they don't right now. They have All in the Family, and it's like the Andy Griffith Show, and there's like so many other like all of the shows within that area or that time is like they rotate some of them and stuff like that. But with on Sunday nights is All in the Family, and usually that's when like I'll go and eat dinner while my dad is watching his sports. Right now it's football and some basketball. Depends on the night, but it's like, but Sunday it's football. And so it's like I'll go down and I'll watch it, but I'll look at it from a political point of view. And there's so many times where I say, we're repeating history. So many of the episodes that do not feel like reruns anymore, because when I see Archie, I see MAGA. When I see Archie, I just see what is going on today within the Republican Party, and I see their hatred, their disgust, them not wanting us. And so it's like sometimes I would tell my dad how I would create a new version. And I know so many people are so tired of the remaking and the redoing of the shows. And I am too, kind of. It's like, because to me, I'm like, if you're going to redo a show, really, like, do it to the point where the characters have grown and have changed and have shown, you know, the current times and everything. And so, and some shows I think they got canceled because they did not do that enough, or they didn't target back to their demographic that they had in the first place. And I don't know, it's like I kind of feel like the new Will and Grace did that, because I liked it a lot, but it just, there were some parts where I'm just like, come on, guys. It's like, it's, oh, like, yeah. And there's so many points where I'm like, okay, you could have done so much more with that. But yeah, I am a Will and Grace fan. I still watch some of the comedy reels on YouTube and everything like that, because it's, yeah, Sharon, oh my gosh, my girl. But with All in the Family, I remember it's like sometimes I would tell my dad, like, I could see Archie Bunker now in today's, like, I'm gonna, like, basically this episode is gonna be if I was to recreate it in full and stuff like that, and maybe even a sample of an episode that I would make, which you guys probably already know which episode I would really want to maybe start the season. It either will be a season starter or a season ender. It depends on the time that the story starts. Because with every novel, you always want to start at a critical or important time within the character, or at the same time, you want it to be right at a point where change is going to develop and stuff like that. So, but with Archie, he is going to be full on MAGA, and there's probably going to be episodes of him going to the rallies, and then, oh, when he sees a black MAGA in the line, he is going to be looking him up and down. He's going to be talking to his wife like, what is he doing here? No. This isn't right. I could just see his eyes, because just like kind of like the same eyes he gave Mr. Jefferson, like when they came over. Oh, and the neighbors. It's like, because when I try to think of what show would I channel, because things have turned into modern days, so like maybe like a modern family version, because I would widen the scope, because it wouldn't just be about Archie now, because maybe Archie has a brother and a sister, and and each one lives in different states. And so I would put Archie in, let's see, kind of like the same area and state that he's already in, like one that is expanding and growing diversity wise, and that's why he's so sick and tired of it. But then maybe one sibling is in a red state, and he's jealous, or they talk, and he's just like, why can't my city be like yours, and things, and or he'll be complaining. But maybe it's like at the beginning or end of each episode, you'll hear the phone call between like both siblings, because the other sibling, they are against MAGA. They're just like, skip this, and like the toxicity within the church, whatever. It's like I could see them maybe even being in New York or California, or in a blue state where they could just be free and happy. And maybe in one episode on the phone, they're like, yeah, it's like I just went to a pride rally, and Archie would be so upset. He was like, why are you going to that for? You should be ashamed. Pride for what? Pride for blah, blah, blah. And then the other family member would be on the phone. Maybe it'll be a three-way phone call. But the other sibling, like, that's a sin. Because, yeah, being in the church belt and everything like that. And they're like, whatever. And so maybe in one of, like, part of the episode, they're going to be at, like, a drag queen brunch event or whatever. Because, like, I remember Anna from The View, it's like she mentioned one in Florida, and now that's like one of my goals to go to, or whatever, whatever. But that would be kind of like a cool scene to watch them eating breakfast, and or even skip that. Like, okay, they'll go to the Pride Parade one episode, but then if they come and visit them in California or New York, they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna, as a family, we're gonna all go to brunch, and they're not gonna know what kind of brunch it is. Oh my gosh, the character that would play like the Archie. Oh, I mean, and the other sibling too, but Archie, the like. Oh, that would be amazing and everything. But it would be funny because his wife will be having fun. It's like, aren't they beautiful, Archie? She'll be clapping and like, like dancing along with it and maybe even getting up, dancing with the other dancers and performers. And he'll be like, you sit down or whatever. So I could so see that happening. And of course Archie will have as like I think he'll have more than one kid though, because maybe one kid will be kind of like his clone, and the other one, like, they always tassel, they always argue and everything because they are now more Democrat and on the left, but and so they always butt heads, kind of like our, Rob Reiner's character and everything like that. So, um, but yeah, that's that's kind of like the starting scope of everything. And it's like, oh, maybe an episode about the tariffs and the prices, and then also with the small businesses or with the monopolies. It's like he would like say, yeah, I want them to get richer and blah blah blah, all this other stuff. And it's like he'll fall for the trickle down system. Yeah, the richer they get, they're gonna give us money, they're gonna blah 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 whatever. And then you'll see like the side effects in healthcare. It's like, I don't know what kind of health situation I would put which character in, but you know, it'll it'll like in a health insurance situation would come up. And but now that I'm even thinking about it, it's like maybe I would make them a little younger, like Gen hmm, Gen X, Gen Y, maybe like maybe either older millennial, but it's like at a point where their parents could, still be, living life or whatever, but maybe one the parents are divorced. And yeah, just like in Modern Family, like the mom or the dad will be like, oh, one of them would be marrying somebody of a different nationality or race, but then the other one, it might be like an age thing where they're like, hold up, what? Like maybe the mom, she'll be dating someone like close to the kids' age or even younger than the kids. That would be golden, because I also have been listening to some of the Republican women lately, and they're like, ladies, they didn't marry someone younger than you. And it's like, oh yeah. And there's no issue with that. But if you saw the women that were saying this, who, bow your head and close your eyes, who baby Jesus. But black baby Jesus, anyway. But yeah, so I would even highlight and show some of the things within that. And then with each of the siblings' kids, with their education and things, and what's going on with like the current events, because a lot of what happened with All in the Family, they covered current events and real life things that they were thinking and talking about, and the issues within the country. And but this way maybe they can even take it international, because it's like parts of the world is like even Canada. Oh my gosh, it would be okay, because now I'm thinking maybe like somehow some way, like maybe even the one of the children of the Archie character, their friend or whatever, can be in Canada. And so it's like they're always kind of like, hey, how's it going? How does freedom smell up in Canada and stuff like that? So, but I don't know. It's just like, what do you guys think? I mean, there's other thoughts that I have. I'm going to continue in a minute, but I think that would be kind of a interesting thing to watch. But and at the same time, maybe they need to bring back On the Family on regular TV, something where more people will turn to it, because I think watching that will kind of show how we're going back in time, and how the judgment, the racism, the ism, all the isms are coming back in a way. And even disability representation, it's like maybe one of their friends, like the kid might be in a wheelchair or they might be in a wheelchair. And so whenever they come to the house, they have to call and be like, hey, I'm outside, and it's like there's no ramp, so it's like they'll hang out outside and talk. Like maybe that'll be how you get to see like the outside or whatever, because the person in the wheelchair can't come in anyway. Or maybe it's another disability. You never know. But it's to maybe it'll be the type of disability where the Archie character might be like, or especially if the person with disability goes to work and stuff like that. First, they'll be like, why don't they get a job? But then they get a job. How do they have a job? And how, like, and especially if that character makes more money than Archie, oh, that'll be golden and amazing. And, oh, even the Rad Pill. Oh my gosh, yes. Is like, even showing the Red Pill demographic to themselves. That would be golden. Red'll be golden. Yes. But anyway, yeah, so all of those are different ideas and kind of, yeah, it's like, because now, especially with feminism, like so many people are so appalled, like, or especially the MAGA community are so appalled with feminism. And it's just like, okay, so some women just don't want to stay at home and cook and clean. Some women want to start a business, and some women they 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 don't mind cooking and cleaning some, but then they think like the husband should do some too. And a lot of men are like, "Oh, the whore. No, I'm not gonna do like." And then they say it's like they're okay. It's kind of a different story for a different day, but yeah, it's like that, especially with Archie and the wife, and how looking at her as the housewife, I'm kind of wondering which would she be in this version. It's like, would she have a job? Because in most cases, it's you can't really have just one salary nowadays. And so I maybe it would be more slightly of a drama, because you would see her at the beginning in season 1, she's maintaining the house and going to work. And it's like, but while she's cooking and cleaning, he's sitting down watching his football, sitting down doing what he wants to do. He'll go golfing and lie to her about what time he'll be home, and he'll be at the bar. And but then maybe season 2 or season 3, you'll start seeing her be like, you know what, skip this. I'm exhausted, I'm tired, I've been working all day. Or maybe she gets offered a promotion, but then he tries to tell her not to take it. Or especially if then she'll be making more than him. And so, yeah, there's so many ways that it could be twist and turn, and so many ways where it can be like All in the Family, but in a new age where it shows the new dilemmas and obstacles that we face as a country, and the points of view that we differ in so many ways. And especially when it comes to MAGA, because MAGA, they want to be seen anyway, so why not put them on the big screen? Why not show themselves to themselves? And maybe even with the Uber drivers, or even when the shoppers, because yeah, I didn't say that Archie's wife is going to be innocent or whatever. So maybe when she's going grocery shopping and she sees like people of color in the parking lot or blah blah blah, she might be shopping with one of her friends, and they'll be like, how did they afford that car? How did they do this? And oh, it's a black person. And so, she wants to hide her purse or go to the other side of the parking lot or whatever, because that's how she was raised and trained at, like, from wherever she grew up or whatever. And so, yeah, there are so many different ways that you can twist and turn the story. And especially, like, I keep wondering, like, because maybe the different neighbors around them would represent the hatred that spins around in his head, so it can be kind of metaphorical and symbolic, because maybe there's a gay couple on one side, and then maybe a black Hispanic couple on another, but then, oh, maybe some Asian doctors or Asian small business owners in another house or whatever. But then it's like Archie would be shocked because that couple is kind of racist too, or they're MAGA too. And so it's like, so that family will come over once in a while, and it's like the way that his MAGA views are compared to his, they differ, but they're the same or whatever. And so then you can kind of see how some of the people of color have sided with MAGA, and like with the rallies, you'll see a black MAGA, and you'll get to see or hear in some fashion or way their view of MAGA and why they've joined MAGA. And so, I mean, yeah. What are your thoughts so far? What do you think? But I think it would be an interesting show. And especially, I would try to emphasize on the power of DEI with, and especially how much a lot, and I'm not saying, well, no, actually no, yeah, majority of MAGA, yeah, it's like, so I'm not saying all of Republican, but, and also maybe a difference in Republicans, because maybe there would be a Republican kind of like Anna from The View. Oh, I adore her. It's like she's the type of Republican where I'm like, okay, yeah, we can have brunch, we could talk, we could chill. It's like I could at least be friends with her. I still won't date a Republican, but I could be friends. I could chill with them. Yeah, because they'll treat everybody like they're human, right? Right. But yeah, it's like I would even, maybe there would be a white Republican down the street and they differ, or maybe they would go to the protest and Archie's like, "What are you doing at the protest? Blah blah blah. Why'd you waste your time?" And all this other stuff or whatever. And it's like maybe he'll even emphasize how they're white, so they're not blah 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 whatever. And so that would be interesting too. And maybe even the person that mows their lawn, maybe there's some stereotyping with them, but then like, especially if it's a black person, and so Archie's like caught saying, "Oh, they only mow my lawn," and he treats them like garbage. But maybe in season 3 or 4 you find out, yeah, he might mow your lawn, but he owns the business. But it's like all this time he did not know that the same man that mows his lawn owns the mow lawning business and everything, like all of the, like, so because throughout the season you're like, he's on his phone again, what is he doing? And so then you find out, oh, his employees are either calling in or they have questions, and that's why it sometimes takes him a little longer, because he's trying to make sure all of the workers are doing their jobs and answering the questions or different dilemmas, or maybe one of the houses that's like no one's home for the payment and things like that. So it's like you could see, like, season by season, it's like the people around, the DEI around, are showing him how everything that he's been taught with the hatred, the judgment, the stereotyping is not true, and how each person is an individual, how stereotyping is poisonous, awful, terrible, and disgusting. So, and that's why, like I said, like, not all MAGA, but I said a lot of them, and I mean a lot of them. And that's like, and that's why I want to show with Republicans, not all Republicans are that way. A lot of, like, because yeah, you've already, if you guys have watched my episode, I have almost 600. I have almost 600, so. But it's like I show the Republicans that write me. I show the MAGA that write me. And so that might be another way where, even like with social media, maybe one of the kids will have their own social media page, and or the wife, like, maybe she started off traditional, but then for some reason, like, either they wanted to move on up, so maybe they moved into it, like kind of like the Jeffersons had, but maybe in order to get the house, or they got the house, but then he got demoted or something happened. Maybe, ooh, the Me Too movement, like someone accused him of sexual harassment or whatever, and so he didn't get the promotion that he was supposed to get. And so now the wife, maybe that's how she started working, but then she loved her job and she got offered the promotion, and he told her not to get the promotion and stuff like that. So, but then I've been thinking about who would play Archie, and it's like, I can't stand this actor, but he is I think I know he's Republican and he likes the orange guy from what I've been listening to. But yeah, I think he is kind of MAGA. But Tim Allen, it's like, why not allow a because it's like he'll be great for the part. It's like it won't be an act because it's kind of part of who he identifies with. So and it's like yeah, like especially with Tool Time and all of that. Yeah, well, it's like, but at the same time, it's like I wouldn't want him to, but it's like part of me was just like a MAGA person would understand a MAGA character. But then also I would want someone who would be able to put some laughter and a spin to, because I've never he to me he's not funny. I've never like with all of the especially Tool Time, like all the accidents, and to me that was stupid. And so I would have to think about who would play Archie, because yeah, I only say him because he's part of MAG or whatever. So who do you think would be, yeah, because okay, in the descriptions and or in the messages whatever, who would you cast? And okay, as Archie, as his wife, and two or three kids, because it doesn't have to just be one kid, it can be two or three. And then his siblings. And what states do you think the siblings should be from? And which state do you think Archie? Because do you think the same state or different? It's like it could change a little bit, just a little bit. Um, and then also his parents, who should be them, and what state should they stay home? It's like, because yeah, that would kind of make a lot of sense if they're grounded and they're staying in like somewhere in the church belt area. And but then because oh yeah, maybe the first episode, no, because maybe even in the episode, it's like they're moving into the from that old house to the new house, but maybe it'll be flashbacks to when they lived in the old house and how they got there, how they moved to that state to begin with. And so that would even show like some of his views and things like that. So that could also be an interesting thing to cover. See, there's so many ways and so many things that could be played around with it. And I know it's an odd idea, possibly, but I think it would be interesting because over the years, going downstairs, watching dinner or watching TV while eating dinner, yeah, watching dinner, um, it it's been in my head many times. And after watching all of the remakes and then also with the anniversary when they redid I think parts of the Jefferson and All in the Family, I remember a few years ago or several years ago, I was up. I loved it. I thought it was amazing. But then when it came onto Me TV and watching it every week, it just keeps coming into my head of they need to bring it back. They need to really, really bring it back. And so, but anyway, actually, yeah, I might end up on the Nerd channel creating some episodes and things like that. But you guys know the drill. Okay. Thank you so much for listening to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handicapable. But most importantly, I am human and you're human too.